I'm CCP Matti, CCP Overload and CCP Goodfella with me here. Yesterday, massive announcements.
Yep. Really fun to be able to share it finally. It's been an announcement like this takes a long time under the hood, but what I'm personally most excited about, so the thing that we are speaking of is the announcement that we are partnering up with Sui, moving to their blockchain network to power Frontier going forward. What I'm most excited about personally is that the Sui team have come here in, I think, total of 3 different visits already.
Yeah.
So they are super keen to make Frontier a success on their network. And they also have, for example, on their team, they have a lot of EVE Online current or lapsed players. So there's actually like written documentation from some of the team members on just why they're excited about Frontier and the future, which actually is like something we could just share with the community.
We tried to come to the public with a roadmap that actually is grounded in reality. So we have details of what we're doing right now, what's coming in the immediate future, what's coming in the slightly more distant future, and then we can start to talk about what we'd like to do. And we're not just saying this is what we're working on or we think we're going to work on. This is stuff that has gone through pre-production with teams, that has been planned out. So we have pretty good confidence that a lot of the stuff that we're going to show today will make it in roughly on the schedule. Some stuff may change, as always. It's game development. We all know how that works. But in general, this should be pretty accurate. If you look at our roadmap stream we did about a year ago now, a lot of that stuff is in, delivered, shipped in one way or another. Some stuff is just moved on. We intend to do the same today. So a quick refresher on eFrontier's product pillars. Grounded in science, things should make sense because they should feel like it makes sense. You understand that when you consume energy, the stuff that you've consumed is gone and it gives you power to do something. That just makes sense. We want it to be a cruel survival experience. Things should be hard fought and feel that you have earned them. It shouldn't just be creative mode. It is supposed to be a survival against the universe itself. And of course, finally, rebuilding a broken world. We want you to feel like you are rebuilding civilization itself in the frontier. If we go from the left to the right, this is what we call kind of like our golden path. And when we say major game loop, it's sort of a game loop of game loops. You know, when you start, you awaken, you're very much in this survival mode. You have to try and keep yourself alive. Just you're scrabbling amongst the dirt to just find the most basic things you need. And then, of course, once you've able to sort of sustain yourself, you start to build shelter and then a way to travel around and start to explore. And then once you've done that, you can escape this first area that you've kind of awoken in. Maybe that one clone does not survive. Maybe like you did not find enough resources and you perish and a new clone is awoken. But once that clone escapes, then you're looking for other people and understanding and start to sort of thrive and build up the skills, not only in the clone, but also in yourself. And before you move on towards this sort of greater community of either finding ancient wonders or powerful artifacts, and eventually, of course, other people and awakening itself. So this is the golden path. We consider sort of the major game loop.
And if these are the pillars and the golden path, and these are the things that we are focusing on right now, the core gameplay, we wanted to feel more moment to moment. We wanted to feel higher fidelity as you fly through space. Base building experience is something we delivered on in June. A lot of people have given us a lot of good feedback in how we should improve it. The world itself as well. The players of Frontier that have played now a lot know that there is opportunities to improve the kind of macro that is the Frontier universe. The identity, we have a phenomenally talented character team on Frontier, and then the creative aspect, continuing to create great 3D assets, whether it is ships, different sites, the sound effect, better shadows, lighting, etc. It was a big announcement yesterday. The Ethereum community, I think, just first of all, have been phenomenal to us, and Frontier wouldn't be where it is today without the everybody that has contributed to Ethereum. But we firmly believe this is the right next step to take for eFrontier. There's a lot of synergies with creating kind of, like I mentioned before, high fidelity experience. as a kind of autonomous world with Sui. So we're really excited to be able to show more to the players and builders as we now migrate to the Sui network.
So here's some of the key highlights from Cycle 3 specifically. So creative base building, endless industry, control after death, new ships to earn, WSD control test, and rewarding exploration. Now, I'm not going to sit and read through all of the slides like this. These are for your screenshot enjoyers. There's some more texty ones later. I thought, what do people like? People like JPEGs, and people like JPEGs that move. So here's some examples. So this is a build mod with some improvements. You may notice the inclusion of verticality. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the third dimension has been located. We found it.
So what's coming in Cycle 3 is now the third dimension, CCP overload.
3D.
About. But there's also the rotate mechanic that is coming as well.
Yes.
If you see this video from before, it's obviously very functional. It's not very inspiring, the move, but we just want to get this into the player's hands. But here is just another video of exploring how it feels like in the future. We want to focus on getting this functionality out to the players to get the feedback, get them to break it, try it out, etc. But then we're also looking at the mood for the future, how it should look and feel like.
Yep. And of course, when you're building your base, you'll want to put stuff closer together than ever before. So all of the collisions have been refactored to be a lot more accurate, a lot more tight. Now you can put your base, you can build it almost anywhere, inside structures.
Super cool.
Although, I mean, if you're building your base inside Stargate, that's literally trying to camp in the middle of a highway. I don't necessarily recommend it.
So what we're going to do, what you're seeing here on screen is just working locally, flying prototype for Frontier. What we will do during Cycle 3 is we're going to have a time-limited event where players can opt in and try out the controls to give us feedback.
Yep.
What the work is ahead for us is to then, as we nail this experience of flying on the Frontier using WASD, I saw already somebody in chat asking for when this was coming. So this is coming in Cycle 3 as a time-limited event to get feedback. And the reason why it's time-limited is that there's a lot of content that we need to update, add, etc. to match with the different controls.
Yeah, so this one, the crosshair you can see is where the pilot is looking, and then that orange one is where the guns are facing. So when you have the guns tracking, or when the guns are just pointing in the direction that they were left in, so you can move, you can see where the guns are currently aiming there. That will come in much more important if you've seen the individual skill shots we've teased in our vision trailer. This is a first step towards that. Another step towards that is active auto-targeting and locking. So when, for example, you have certain weapon systems like this, so you enable them, and then when you have your weapon systems able to target at them, like this. Here's an interesting one for you. Industry. Right now it's all in batches, but what if I could tell you that instead of batching, you simply pick the blueprint that you want your structure to work on, and as long as there are materials and as long as it is running, it will continue to run until it runs out of materials. And you don't have to stop it to add more materials, you just simply drag them in. So we're also upgrading a lot of the models. The one in the top left you may recognize from the trailer is the weapon system that was fit to the ship in the trailer. Here is it in game. On your ships.
What we're showing now in Cycle 4, some of it has been, tangible progress has been made, but as we go a bit further out, we have our intent and what we plan, but there's not necessarily the same amount of artifacts that are tangible that we can share already.
Exactly. So this is a sort of overall summary of Cycle 4. We're going to be continuing to iterate on the ship controls. We'll be introducing the first parts of our character progression system, which include clones and the creation of clones as assets. Tribal base buildings, and further differentiating different ships, their roles and their attributes. So
this is it is a huge thing. The different distinct ships in Frontier. The ships that we have right now are more just to provide players with content, but we want to do it with way more intent. What is a ship in Frontier made of? What are the different factions and how do they work together in creating a really dynamic ecosystem with different ships?
Yep. And of course, different clones in ships with different abilities, for example. Being able to store multiple clones, upgrade things, make copies, and so on and so forth.
What you're seeing right now here are the different 3D characters or clones that you own in Frontier, so you can visually see them in client as well, and not just a 2D JPEG or just not see them at all.
Yeah.
So what is coming in Cycle 4, which launches in December, is a character progression system. Overall, we will share more detail on that soon, but we want it both to be a passive system where you unlock different things, but also an active system. So if you are good at mining, you gain more skills if you do a lot of mining, you will get good at mining as well.
Here's some more smart deployables and base building structures coming in Cycle 4. You will be able to all build together on L-points and expand them as a tribe. So that is coming in Cycle 4. And then we're getting really into the far future now at this point. This is still stuff that we're in our roadmap internally, stuff that's been worked on. Well, we're expecting in Cycle 5 to be when the SWE migration really starts to take place, when we actually start to transition the game that people are playing over onto SWE.
Cycle 5 will start in March next year. There is less tangible things, but our intent is 1000% there. The scanning and signature system, base attack and defense, new ships and sites, travel overhaul, updated HUD and inventory system.
You may recognize this from our Vision trailer. This is what we're working towards scanning, for example, to be looking like in eFrontier. When we put these Vision trailers together, they're not just to look pretty. They are basically to communicate our vision to the teams, to everyone out there. We'll come back with more details in the future, in the next 6 months or so. We'll a bit more on this, but these are like sort of conceptual art at this point.
I'm super excited about Cycle 3. We're going to see, the base building stuff is going to be a huge improvement. The respawn thing is going to be a huge improvement. Getting the WASD controls into the hands of the players. We want to have a discussion with the community if they think anything should be prioritized differently, if they feel like we're dropping something that is important, or if it's just cool, which we obviously do think it is, but we also know that there is a dialogue that is needed in order to make it perfect.